Well, hello there.
It's time for Maths with Mr. Thomas.
Here we go, continuing with Chapter 1, Lesson number 3. We are on now, estimating using rounding. So let's say I gave you a sum such as this, 6,328 plus 1,847. Does anybody know the exact answer? Well, it's going to take a bit of time to work it out. There are times, though, that you don't need the exact answer. You will just need a rough answer. And the way you could work out an approximate answer is to use rounding. And what you can do to round is you can use significant figures. So significant figures can be used to estimate an answer to a calculation. For example, if we have this 6,328 plus 1,847 and we don't want the exact answer, we just want a rounded answer, well, what we can do is we can round each of these numbers to one significant figure in order to get an approximate answer. So, to round 6,328 to one significant figure, this is what we did in the last lesson. We first of all find the first significant figure. So the first non-zero number that we come to is the first significant figure, which is in the 6. This 6 is in the thousands column. So what we do is we would round this number to the nearest thousand. And we know 6,328 is closer to 6,000. With the 1,847, we would also round that to one significant figure. So the first significant figure is the 1, that's what we are wanting. It also is in the thousands column. So rounding 1,847 to the nearest 1,000, IFRA gives you, good, that would be 2,000. Therefore, an approximate number for 6,328 will be 6,000. An approximate number for 1,847 is 2,000, meaning if we add them together, we will get an approximate answer of 8,000. Woo! So that will be a rough answer. Example 2, round each number to one significant figure to estimate the answer to 314 times 7,747. So 314, the first significant figure is the 3. That is what we're wanting. It's in the hundreds column, so rounding that number to the nearest hundred will be 300. We are multiplying that by, well, not 7,747 because that'll be difficult. What we want to do is we want to look for this first significant figure, which is this first 7. It is in the thousands column, so that number to the nearest 1,000 will be 8,000. So, working out the answer to 300 times 8,000 will give us an approximate answer to this calculation here. Working out 300 times 8,000, Jake, what's a quick way of doing it? Good. What you can do is you can multiply the 3 by the 8. 3 times 8 is 24. And then what you can do is you can add on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. Doing that then will give you 2,400,000. That will be a rough answer. Example 3, round each number to one significant figure to estimate 7,981,304 divided by 4,141. Once again, rounding each number to one significant figure. So, first significant figure, first number that we come to that's not a 0 is the 7. That is in the millions column. So, 7,900,000 blah 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 will round to 8 million. Good. Find your number, look next door. If it's 5 more, you add 1 more. So the 7 million will go up to an 8 million. We're dividing that by 4,141, but again, we want to round that as well to give us an easy calculation. So the first significant figure is the 4. That is in the thousands column, and if we round that number to the nearest 1,000, well, 4,141 is close to 4,000. We're dividing 8 million by 4,000. How could we go about doing that? Can anybody help me out? Mihiba. Perfect. What we can do is we can cancel 1, 2, 3 zeros in each of these numbers. If we do that, what it leaves us with is 8,000 divided by 4. And 8,000 divided by 4, well, supposed to do that, you could do 8 divided by 4, which gives you 2, and you've still got these 3 zeros. So 8,000 divided by 4 will give you 2,000. And that will be a rough answer to the 7,981,304 divided by the 4141. Woo! High five. Example 4. Round each number to two significant figures. To estimate 73,241 take away 8,663. So, two significant figures. Well, the first significant figure here in this number is the 7, and beside it is always the second significant figure, and this is what we want to round to. This number, this 3, is in the thousands column, so rounding 73,241 to the nearest thousand will be 73,000. Rounding 8,663 to two significant figures, well, the first significant figure is the 8. Beside it is the second significant figure, and the column that this is in is the hundreds. Well done, you're good at this. So, round that number to the nearest hundred, and it will be, good, 8,700. So now we have an easier calculation. 73,000 take away 8,700. If you work that out, you end up getting 64,300. Woo! So that will be a rough answer to this calculation up here. Example 5. Round each number to one significant figure to estimate 1,135 plus 75 times by 910. Well, suppose the first thing we're going to do is round each number to one significant figure. And when it's one significant figure, we want to find that first significant figure in each number. So, first significant figure here is going to be the 1 that's in the thousands column. So rounding this 1,135 to the nearest thousand will be 1,000. With the 75, the first significant figure, first number that's not a 0, is the 7. That's in the tens column. So 75 to the nearest 10 will be 80. Good. And 910, the first significant figure there is 9. And if you round that number then, well, you're rounding it to the nearest 100 because the 9 is in the hundreds. And 910 would round to 900. So now we have 1,000 plus 80 times by 900. Boom, boom, boom. You'll notice here we have two calculations. You have a plus and you have a multiply. What do you do first, or does it matter? Would you just do it left to right? Perfect. You have to think about BIDMAS or BODMAS. Think about any brackets first of all, then your indices or order. And then you'd move on to multiplication and division. This multiplication would come before the addition. The as is on the end of BIDMAS or BODMAS. As. So the multiply will come first. So working out the 80 multiplied by 900, how would you do that? Good, you could just do 8 times 9, which gives you 72, and add these 1, 2, 3 zeros. You'll notice that the 1,000 is just staying as it is. We're not touching this 1,000 plus, so we just leave that as is. So it'll be 1,000 plus, and then as we said, 8 times 9 is 72, and we're adding these 1, 2, 3 zeros, so 72,000. So we have 1,000 plus 72,000, and I'm sure you can work that out. That's 73,000. Woo! Example 6, final example. There have been 4,182 weekly editions of the Beano. By rounding to one significant figure, calculate roughly how long the comic has been running for. So, because there are 4,182 weekly editions, well, how many weeks in a year? 52! Good. So we want to divide by the 52. We want to see how many sets of those 52 there would be. So we've got 4,182 divided by 52. To work that out, it's going to be quite difficult, so we can use rounding. We can round each number to one significant figure. So 4,182, if we round that to one significant figure, the first significant figure is the 4. It's the first non-zero number. And that is in the thousands column, so 4,182 will round to 4,000. We want to divide that by, well, the first significant figure in 52 is the 5. The first non-zero number. That is in the tens column, so to the nearest 10, 52 is 50. Woo! So we have an easier calculation. We've got 4,000 divided by 50. To work this out, Olivia, help us out. Brilliant. What you can do is you can cancel a 0 from the 5, and because we're cancelling a 0 here, we can cancel 1 0 from here. And it will leave us with an easier calculation of 400 divided by 5. So working out 400 divided by 5, that will give you 80. You could always ignore this 0 here and do 40 divided by 5, which is 8, and then add that 0 back on, so it gives you 80. So you can finish off by saying, therefore, the Beano has been in print for approximately 80 years. Woo! And For any of you geeks out there, the first edition of the Beano actually came out in 1938, and I believe that was July. Woo! Try some of these questions in the TJ4 Plus book. On page 7, questions 1 to 5, you're rounding each of those numbers to 1, 2 or 3 significant figures, and then moving on with the calculation to get an approximate answer. Best of luck, have fun, and if you do well, here's a high five. Yeah!